you used to?
Yeah.
And I've been having lessons with Jim McAleese. I'm not sure if you know him. He used to teach there too. A Canadian Jim.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he do the one in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know those folks as much, but how are you enjoying it?
It's cool, but I'm doing the Greg Dean stand-up courses, and Jim happens to be a teacher there, and I saw that he was in Second City, but of course there's nothing to do. It's you are in is it Chicago? No.
Yeah, I taught in Chicago
All right. Okay. So
and also in the one in Hollywood out in
all
LA.
right. Cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. That I mean it's it's pretty amazing what we can do taking classes from people all over the world right now. I mean it's
Yeah, yeah. I was really lucky with the COVID thing because they weren't doing it online, like the stand-up lessons. They were just doing, normal lessons. So I would never have been able to go there and take the lessons. So that's cool for me.
yeah, and have you been doing a lot of like virtual performing or classes?
No, no. I did 5 minute on extreme improv, and
Oh
that's where
yeah.
this all came from. And I just dressed up as a priest, and I was doing crowd work, like riffing from people's ideas. But I'd like to do more. I'm just discovering though this whole thing, and it's how cool it is that you can connect and like we are talking to each other from across the world, and just for the sake of doing that. So that's really great.
Yeah.
And I'm discovering it now at the end, hopefully, of the COVID thing. But maybe it will carry on.
I mean, it's yeah, it's pretty insane that you're able to reach anybody throughout the world, and
Yeah,
as long as your schedules work out, you're able to connect. I think it's fascinating.
yeah, yeah. And stuff we didn't used to do before. So
Yeah.
this is a new thing. Yeah.
Well, pick a number. Let's see. Pick a number between one and 27.
Wow. I will go for 7.
Oh, number seven. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Oh, great. This comes from Mark Turpin. And my friend, our suggestion is this the dream or is this improv?
Wow. It's meta humor. Wow.
All right, thanks, Mark.
Is this a dream or is this improv? All right. Well,
Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it?
I was thinking the same exact thing.
Here we are. I
Here we
think
are.
I'm looking at you, if you do really do exist, and or I don't know. It is strange.
I mean, I'll pinch myself, but I mean that lets
That
me
doesn't
know.
make yeah. What doesn't unless you can pinch me, that won't really help me. But how would you prove that you are real?
Hmm. Well, that's an interesting question. Like I know I've been watching a lot of Westworld,
Yeah,
and in that show there are these like androids that start feeling and coming to life,
yeah.
and they start questioning like what happened before, and I don't know if you like I'm forced to prove I'm real. Is there a question that could be asked to show that?
Probably, I would go for um, when was the last time you fell in love?
Ooh, well, I've been seeing someone for almost a year and a half now, and I think that person's great, and so I've fallen in love with them,
All
and
right,
I think it's a constant state of you are continuing to fall in love.
right.
When was the last
So
time you fell in love?
Oh, it was a few years back. Yeah, like
Huh?
6 years ago. And I've been seeing that person ever since. So I guess that pretty much makes us, well, real in a way that we wouldn't sacrifice our other half. No, not other half. Our significant other. That is the for a greater good or anything. So I guess we are not machines and or abstract creatures like in a Dali painting.
Who in your life would you sacrifice for the greater good?
Um, that is a good question. Who would I sacrifice? Uh, of the people I know, I would sacrifice all of them. But I'll keep a few. Greater good is the greater good. Um,
Would you
uh,
sacrifice me?
well, no, because I wouldn't sacrifice you. No, why would I?
What
There's
if
so
I'm not real?
well. If you're not real, then you'd have to just step up and sacrifice yourself and just decide what is the greater good and just do something about it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't sacrifice you. I couldn't sacrifice you if I knew you weren't real, or if you were real. I have a fond attachment to you.
Yeah, that's how amazing this is. That's why it feels like a dream. I'm not sure if this is a dream or if it's just improv, but it's like this surreal thing. You're there, I'm here, we're connecting. We care for each other. Wow.
Would if this were let's play it out. If this were a dream, would you want to wake up from it, or would you want to stay? The
I
way
would
things
want
are
to.
right now, everything included, would you wake up?
No, I'm too curious to know
Yeah.
this will go, and what will I wake up to? Like
Could be worse.
yeah, that's it. At least here we have this sort of reality. That's sure.
And it's as real as we want it to be.
Yeah, yeah. It's
You ever see The
amazing.
Matrix?
I did, yeah.
You get offered the red or the blue pill, and one of them lets you stay where you are, no harm, no foul. The other one opens up your world to what is the reality.
Wow.
Do you take the red one or the blue one? Do you stay in the reality you know is now, or do you go to this new reality?
I would probably go to the new reality, even if it means excruciating pain or the limits of human whatever we are, because you know I have no idea what that would be like. And my day-to-day life, that's I pretty much know what it is about. But is there something out there? I guess you will all find out. But
I mean, I think that's the question. It's is there something out there better than what you're experiencing now? And are you willing to take a chance and find out?
yeah, well, it's tricky because imagine if we're, like a video game and just slugs. We are just the character of a slug,
Yeah.
and we are in a video game, and you just wake up. Oh no, sorry, just this old slug playing PlayStation. It's like, oh man, it's not as glamorous.
I mean, how would we know? Like, you say, oh, pinch yourself, but I pinch myself. Maybe I'm not really feeling pain, but I'm programmed to feel it, and I think it is. So maybe none of this is real. Maybe
Yeah,
this is all made up.
yeah, that's sure. Especially like the suggestions. I mean, who even came up with the suggestions of this improv thing? What are the odds that it's like this Inception Matrix crazy thing?
Well, I mean, the suggestion was, it was always there,
Yeah.
and we set it up this way. You said number seven, and then boom, there it was.
Was this meant to be,
It
or
had
is
to be
this?
meant to be.
Yeah,
I don't
this is
think it's
amazing.
a series of random occurrences. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
what
took
it's.
number seven because it's a prime number. So
Mm.
there must be a meaning to number seven or something special about it. And do you know something about it?
Well, number seven has always been considered a lucky number.
Maybe that's our luck.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe
I mean,
yeah, I'm thankful for that number seven matched that suggestion. That
yeah.
was amazing.
I mean, it's why did people consider number seven lucky? Why is number eight not the lucky one? Why is it number seven is lucky? I don't know.
Yeah. And did your friend wait to be the seventh person to give a suggestion? That is the big question here.
Maybe yeah, I bet he's like number I want to be the number seven. I want to be the lucky one. So I'm gonna wait until number six is posted and then I'm gonna post number seven.
Yeah,
And
he probably knew it. It's kind of conspiracy. I don't know. Maybe it is a dream.
what if he's the dream master and controlling this
Yeah,
himself?
maybe this is his dream.
What if we are inside his dream and
Yeah,
he's in control of the whole thing. We're not in control at all.
yeah. And he wakes up, he has to go to pee or something, and we just vanish, and he
Yeah.
won't remember us.
No. Oh my
Wow.
God. That's my biggest fear is not to be remembered.
Yeah, he will probably wake up and tell his wife or husband, say, "Hey, I had this weird dream of these two guys," and she goes, "Oh, what was it?" And he forgot.
What if his wife says, "Oh, was it the number seven dream again?"
Yeah.
What if this is like we're repeating this scenario until he's finally happy with it?
Yeah, like he's probably been to Vietnam or something and has these flashbacks, nightmares and stuff.
Who's
Maybe
who?
we were, maybe you and I, maybe we were his general and his colonel or something like that, or a lost buddy from the war or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just a series of reincarnations,
yeah,
Maybe they're right. Maybe it's just a series of you're just reincarnated until finally you get it right.
yeah. And what happens when this? Are we? Do we disintegrate when his dream is over until he makes us up again, or what happens?
Yeah. I think we're just done until he brings us up again.
Right. Well, what shall we do while we are waiting?
No, you got anything you want to drink?
Yeah, well, make some coffee.
Well, that sounds good.
Uh,
Let's have a cup of coffee and wait till
yeah.
he wakes up.
All right, let's do that.
Scene.
Way! Well done.
Oh,
Wow.
that was that
That was
was
the weirdest thing ever.
oh,
That's cool.
it was so cool. Of like, I love scenes that can get philosophical.
Yeah, because who knows, whatever.
I mean, I've always thought this of like, what if we've never actually existed until like right now, and then everything
Yeah,
before this was just memories that were implanted in us, and
yeah,
we've never been real, and then all of a sudden, I mean, it's just a fascinating idea of like what happens, and then what's going to happen to us as we continue on
yeah.
this journey.
Yeah. I was thinking about it the other day, thinking, okay, when is there a progression when if you reincarnate,
Yeah,
do you start as a bacteria and slowly you reincarnate into more complex beings, and you get to be a dog, and from a dog,
yeah,
whatever, until you become human, and is it becoming human the top of that long chain, or do you just stay within your species? Like if you're a dog, you'll be a poodle and the Doberman and the Labrador, and you just go around and you go for the whole species.
yeah,
Or do you go back, or do you start as human, this really clever thing, and then you go back to being a slug, but with consciousness, and say, oh fuck, I'm a slug now. I have to go and eat some lettuce. What's
get
the
the
point?
get the salt away from me. Move
Yeah,
the
yeah,
salt.
yeah. The
Well,
salt in the eggshells,
yeah.
what's the point?
Or are you in that state of I'm human, then I didn't learn a lesson, so then I go backwards, but then I learn the lesson and I go forwards, and you're in that constant state of just either evolving or de-evolving. based on what
Yeah,
choices you make.
yeah, that'd be funny to because every theory is as good as another. So
Totally.
I even thought about starting a sect or something. The progression reincarnationists, something like that, and it just make something up and say until we become the holy bacteria. That would be cool because if we think about it, there's bacteria, alien bacteria, or stuff that lives in space. So
Yeah.
maybe our purpose is to evolve until we are a tiny bacteria that can travel and land on another planet.
Yeah.
And yeah, and drugs. Where are the drugs? Because
Well, you kind of have the same effect when you improvise at times of like just
yes,
tripping.
wow, I'm a bacteria. Yeah. Yeah.
How did you start improvising? Like, what got you involved?
Well, it's a good question. I never really improvised until this morning. I went to an improv lesson here. I live in the south of France, and I went to this improv thing, like the tryout lesson,
Yeah.
and we did some games and stuff. And I couldn't go because when I brought in my check, everything was full, so I was left out. So I
Huh.
took singing lessons. But the improv and stuff like whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
And I watched it in London once, an improv show, like a comedy
Oh,
improv,
yeah.
and I was just taken, my mind blown because it was they were playing games, but it looked so perfectly done.
Mm.
And because I do stand up and I write comedy, but I'm a bad actor. I can't really act because I'm not natural. But improvising is where I feel the best.
Mm.
So, and I just recently found out that people were doing this online. So I said, hey, let's do it. Uh, yeah,
Oh, that's cool. And like, it's funny. I think it does lend itself to other disciplines of comedy and entertainment for sure. Improv, whether it's stand up or writing or doing scripted work, I think there are elements that you learn when you improvise that you could take in and make
sure.
those even better. And vice versa. There are things you learn as a stand up that I think improvisers can benefit from as well, and acting and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I really enjoy and one of the guys I like the most, like Steve Carell, he was a big improv guy,
Yeah.
and I saw him doing a little game on Ellen DeGeneres show, and I said, "Wow, this is so good." Because I did a couple of improv lessons. I was like 13 or something,
Sure.
and the rule was accept the proposal,
Yeah.
and stay with that. And I think that is one of those lessons that helped me for everything I did in my life. So whenever someone makes fun of you or throws a joke at you or something, and you play along with that, then you're not offended. You're not even sometimes when I lived in England for a while, and when I arrived there, sometimes I couldn't even understand what they were saying because they had this really heavy accent,
Yes.
and they said "rah rah," and I said "I know," and they go "Yeah," and yeah, this is great. And so like to buy time to try and understand and figure an answer out.
That's
So
great.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Oh my God,
yeah,
that's such a great tool to use. I know.
yeah, yeah.
And I feel like if you want to learn a language, jumping into an improv group will help that as well because it's a pretty fun way to learn that and get submerged quickly in another language. I had a friend who went from Sweden to Barcelona, and he was an improviser, and he enrolled in an improv class, and he learned a phrase in Spanish. I think the phrase he learned was something like, "I'm a grandmother. Can you please speak slower?" Just and so any improv scene he was in, he was playing a grandma for like a couple months just so they would slow down. And he said he learned how to speak Spanish a lot faster than if he tried on his own.
Sure, 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 sure. But and that's the thing. You have to be in the room. I
Yeah.
think that's the most thing that I love the most about improv is you
Yeah.
have to be there. If you're not there, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I've seen stand-ups here. They're well, not stand-ups. They're doing acts, and they're like spitting out a text, and they go blah 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 blah. Even if the room is on fire and people are shooting each other, they just carry on what they're doing. They're on. they're working, blah blah blah. And improv, you really have to be there. So that's what I love about it. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that kind of you're all in it together. You, the other actors, the audience, everyone's experiencing this and making those same discoveries and watching what's happening all at the same time.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes everybody's surprised, even if I
Yes.
guess you can work a bit like the stereotypes and the archetypes and all that in improv, so that when you are playing the fool or whatever, you can. There's some things like a jazz.
Yeah,
You have to be a musician to be a good improv musician. So I'm not
yeah.
sure how it works with normal improv, but yeah, sometimes everybody is surprised. They go, "Wow, this never." Probably that's the funny thing. This morning, I was doing a little scene with John,
Yeah.
and we came up. Some was that hummingbird. So in the end, it was a hummingbird, one-legged hummingbird, with it was a pirate with another bird, a little hawk on its shoulder, and being thrown with a slingshot to hit pigs like
Yes.
in Angry Birds. And
Yes.
I think in the history of mankind, those words have never been said together
Right?
ever.
And
Yeah, and never ever. So and probably none of us would have come up with that alone. But
well,
just
I
yeah,
mean, you're right. And like the fact that, in the context that you were doing, it also made sense.
sure. That's the whole thing. Yeah,
Yes, that's the
yeah,
best. And it's like you said, there's no way that there's no way people would have thought that on their own, but working together, you came up with that, and that made
yeah.
sense. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That yeah, it is really funny. It is really funny because, and maybe you can turn that into something,
Yeah.
and yeah. So yeah, it's really great. I really enjoy doing this. It's cool. Mm.
Where, if people want to follow you or check out some stuff you're doing or just connect with you,
Well,
what's
they
the best
if
way?
they if they just search Scott Finns anywhere, they will find me. Because that's like a state. My real name is Jose, so no one,
Oh,
half
really?
of half of the world is called Jose. So no, but so I took it. Well, I took a stage name. Scott Finns is a stage name because of a Monty Python sketch where there's the rat cake thing, and is it dead or is it fish? And she goes, why is Scott Fins? It's Scott
Oh,
Fins, Scott Fins. So it came to me, so that Terry Jones line. Said,
yes.
that is it. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
That is
there's
fucking great.
that crazy. Anyway, if someone wants to check out some crazy stuff I do, just search bearded obscenities on YouTube, and I'll be just talking crap about whatever. So
Oh,
yeah,
I love it.
bearded obscenities. Yeah,
Oh,
and I'd love to do scenes like this with other people. If anyone wants to reach out, I'll be. I don't have much experience, but I'm willing to learn and to do stuff.
it's experience means nothing, man. Like the
Mm,
willingness to do it, that's the main thing. So
sure.
I'll connect you with some folks too who are doing this, who are always looking
Cool.
for people to play with.
All right.
Well, awesome. It was so great playing with you, and I can't wait till we do it again, whether it's another virtual one or live next to each
That
other
would
in the
be
same
great.
room.
I would love to. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Scott. We'll talk
Thank you.
soon.
Bye bye.